Round 6 of the World Rally Championship is an event unique in character, the Rally Argentina. The event always attracts huge crowds of fanatical South American spectators and is held in the heart of the country in the Sierra Grande Mountains. The 22 stages run in 3 legs, which loop around the host town, the lakeside tourist resort of Villa Carlos Paz. This year's rally has already seen its fair share of headaches for the teams. Mitsubishi's Francois Delacour became the first victim when he rolled his Lancer into retirement on day 1. But he wasn't alone in needing an early flight back to Europe. Peugeot's Javi Rovampera retired with a sick engine early on day 2.
Problem. We have only 2 cylinders.
Throttle problems forced Freddie Leutz's Hyundai out just 1 stage later. Alistair McRae and co-driver David Senior are still going, despite using turbo boost when a pipe came off. They repaired the pipe and then caught the Skoda of Gabriel Pozzo on the very next stage. Pozzo's gear knob falling off, meanwhile, was just a minor irritation. All 3 Skodas still running as the rally entered its final day. Even the rally leaders had his share of dramas. Marcus Grönholm started day 2 with a massive lead, but a mystery hydraulic problem meant that lead was smashed in just 2 stages. Slowly but surely, Grönholm's Peugeot was hunted down throughout the second day by the Subaru of Tommi Mäkinen. Mäkinen snatched the lead on the day's penultimate stage. The final test saw Grönholm strike back, sharing the fastest time with his teammate, the reigning world champion Richard Burns. The Englishman goes into the final day a secure 3rd place behind the 2 Finns. Behind him, there's another scrap going in for 4th. Norway's Petter Solberg is grimly looking on, but he was another to have problems on day 2. The gearbox which briefly refused to select any gear other than reverse, costing around 20 seconds. The man with Solberg in his sights is Carlos Sainz, the Spaniard also the 4 teams' best hopes for a good finish. Last year's winner here was Sainz's teammate Colin McRae, but the 2002 event hasn't been so good to the Scotch.
Jump into turn, 2 left plus, opens. Yeah.
He's certainly been trying, but will start the final day in 6th place after a string of small problems, including this time-consuming spin on day 1.
4 plus.
This is how things stand going into day 3. Just half a second separating Mäkinen and Grönholm after over 3 hours of competition. Solberg and Sainz are split by less than 9 seconds, while behind the top 6, Tony Gardemeister will be hoping to improve on his 8th place and score Skoda's first points of the year. The final day, however, begins with one of the championship's most famous tests. Over 2 kilometres above sea level, stage 19 is the infamous rock-strewn El Condor.
Petter, Carlos just 8 seconds behind you. There's going to be a big battle today between you.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of fog now, and I think it's the worst guy to have behind me, you know, because he has so much experience of this type of weather.
What dangers and difficulties does El Condor present? It is a very, very notorious stage.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. You know, when the weather's quite good, it's a nice stage. And okay, there's rocks at the side, but it's wider than the next one down to Mina Clavera, and can be quite enjoyable. But when it's shrouded in fog and a little bit muddy, then things get interesting.
Can you beat Tommi Mäkinen today?
I don't know. Now it seems to be difficult also with the weather conditions. So it will be quite funny.
We try to make it 100%, no mistakes, and 100% speed, and let's hope everything works, no mistakes. these next two stages, they are these most important stages. How well they goes, then last two stages they are not so difficult anymore.
Above the clouds, it was a clear morning. Unfortunately for the crews, El Condor's altitude meant it was right in those clouds. Just as on the previous day, Argentina's Gabriel Ponce had the job of getting the spectators in the mood. He had no problem, it seemed. The fans adored him.
Para izquierda de nada respetar. Vámonos. Izquierda larga.
It had been another frustrating weekend for Mitsubishi. They've made improvements to the Lancer's engine, suspension and transmission, but a string of minor problems meant Alistair McRae was only 11th. Marco Martin knew that Ford were relying on him should either Carlos Sainz or Colin McRae have problems. 5th quickest, the Estonian was in a comfortable 7th place overall, with his closest challenger, Tony Gardemeister, over 2 minutes behind. Colin McRae was another who was finding the rally frustrating. Until last year, Argentina had never been kind to him. He thought he'd finally broken his run of bad luck.
And 3 right tightens into 2 left plus 30 right tightens to 2 minus.
Now in 6th place, it seemed a single point would be the reward for his weekend's work. Carlos Sainz, on the other hand, was in attack mode.
Izquierda frenando, izquierda media más se cierra, mano. Para derecha acá se cierra. Para izquierda caliente se cierra. Frenando mucho, para derecha media más se cierra, mano. Acaba acá frenando. Para izquierda buena tercera se cierra poco y ras. Para derecha calentarás frenando. Para izquierda media más se cierra. 1.
Peter Solberg knew that he had a fight on his hands and so also pushed. In the fog though, it's so very easy to make a mistake.
60, keep right over crest. 30, slow, 1 left plus a gap. Keep in, 20. Point ahead, bin right.
That slight overshoot cost precious seconds.
60.
The clock tells the story. Remember, the pair were just under 9 seconds apart going into the stage.
Extra long, keep in over crest. Into early, extra long of a crest. Into mud, early 6 right plus of a crest. Into early 6 left plus of a crest. 60. Slippy 4 right minus tightens mud. 150. 5 left minus tightens, keep in. 50.
Solberg's reaction says it all. Sainz had grabbed 4th place. Of all the top 5, Sainz to gain by attacking. There was well over a minute behind him and 45 seconds or so to the pair in front. He'd play the waiting game.
50. Flat left 40. Flat left long to left crest 50. Flat right.
He'd had to push the car out of the overnight halt and must have wondered if it would cut out again at any moment. He still pushed though. After all, the fog on the first day had helped him. But would the low cloud have the same effect?
Vähän ekstra vasen nopea. Ja oikein pitkä nopea. Ja hyppy oikein täys. 7 vasen tiukka. 8. Hyppy vasen täys.
Mackin and the overnight leader blasted off into the stage. With Cronenberg holding such a huge lead in the Drivers' Championship, there was only one result which would do: victory. On this occasion, though, Mackin had to settle for second best. The Peugeot was 1.9 seconds faster than the Subaru, and so Cronenberg led once again. So a half-second Mäkinen lead had become a 1.4-second advantage for Gronholm, while in the other battle, Sainz was now 5.5 seconds ahead of Solberg. No one else, it seemed, would be able to threaten the point-scoring places, with Ford surely unwilling to allow Martin to fight McRae.
Marcus, you've taken the lead.
Yeah, it's not much, but okay. We have small electrical problem again in car. It's not good.
Tommy, you wanted a battle today, but can you get that lead back?
Yeah, we try to do. This stage has been always better than the first stage for me, and I prefer these last 3 stages. They are nicer.
Stage 20, Giulio Cesare, another high stage, but this time there'd be less cloud around. It was clear that Alistair McRae still had an eye on Juha Kankkunen's 10th place. The Mitsubishi had been 7th fastest on the previous stage, but this time the Scot pushed a little too hard.
Don't cut, and opens to medium 50, long crest into long K right plus, don't cut, and flat left opens 70. Bastard.
Kenneth Ericsson's score was still 9th, despite an error by the driver. Last finish, which brought the driver Tina Turner out of the car to protest.
But then you have to check it. It's wrong. It's 1 minute wrong. You check it. Because then you have 13 the wrong time. But you have to check it. You have to check it.
The rear of Colin McRae's full focus, meanwhile, suggested a slight error on the part of the driver. Sainz made no such mistakes. One of the most consistent drivers in the championship, he knew that 4th place was still far from secure.
Rasante en derecha frenando. Para Rasante en izquierda, buena menos, 3.
Solberg in turn knew that he couldn't afford a repeat of his earlier overshoot. He had to be neat and fast.
Small crest, the big jump, 18. Small jump, 60, flat middle of a jump, 150. Small jump and compression, 6 right bus, 300. Over finish.
But again, the Ford driver was faster. This time, Richard Burns was just 5th quickest. There was no point in risking an accident or mechanical failure, so he was now driving to finish.
Flat right and flat right, 80. Crest 20, medium right in, tightens. Left this jump to middle crest 70. Jump 100. Slight crest jump 100 over jump. Leftish crest 150. Dip to slight right. 400.
The concentration on the face of the new leader, but this battle was also far from over.
8. Oikealle vasen nopea. 4. Ja vasen pitkä hidas. Toista pitkä hidas. 7. Nyppy ja vasen eri. 3. Ja oikea pitkä hidas.
Stage favoured the non-leader Peugeot. The bigger Subaru would go better on the next more open stage. Sure enough, Gromov was again fastest, extending his lead to 5.5 seconds. One more stage remained before service, the 13.6-kilometre Curo-Brochero test, also the rally's penultimate stage. Twice former winner in Argentina, Juha Kankkunen, was fighting with Alistair McRae for 10th place, but that didn't mean he wasn't taking things seriously. 4th fastest on the stage, the Finn clearly still meant business. Carlos Sainz and co-driver Lewis Moyer won the rally 11 years ago, but they too were showing they'd lost none of their pace. 2 stages now stood between the pair and 4th place.
Para izquierda rápida menos, para derecha rápida ojo de tierra y se abre, para 1. Rasante en izquierda rápida ojo de tierra, 3.
Peter Solberg and Phil Mills, however, weren't giving up without a fight. The pair set exactly the same time as the Spaniards, so the battle would continue to the rally's final stage.
Flat 6 right bus of a long crest, 200. Unseen jump, 60, caution slow, very narrow fall, left bus tightens minus, 40, 1 left bus fast over sand. 130.
Richard Burns and Robert Reed were again 5th quickest. Their wait-and-see tactics, it appeared, would surely end in frustration. Their teammates Marcus Grönholm and Timo Rautiainen were 8.4 seconds faster through the stage and showed no signs of weakness. And Kai Lindstrom too had hardly put a wheel wrong all weekend. This though was the stage they knew was all or nothing. The more open road was more suited to the bigger car, and so this surely was the stage on which the pair retook the lead. How wrong they were.
From the stage we are clearly off the road over.
Hey guys, thank you for that information. Just to confirm that one of you stops with the car, we'll have to wait till Petter clears before we send somebody over.
At the stage midpoint, the Subaru had been 3 seconds faster than the Peugeot, but then on the very last corner of the stage, it all went wrong, and so the Rally Argentina ended in spectacular retirement for the two Finns.
Big accident, Tommy. What happened?
Yeah, it was very, very big off. It was one of the biggest. We just hit the bank, rear wheel to the bank, and it just poof. So stupid. I knew the place exactly. I remember the corner very well, and it was just, I don't know why it just gets too much sliding going into the corner, and poof.
But at service, Grönholm was quickly whisked away from the waiting press. Regulations state that team personnel have to stay at least 1 kilometre away from the car, apart from official service parks. But there'd clearly been Peugeot engineers present when he'd had his earlier engine problems.
There are a few rumours floating around the service park about some illegal assistance that you got just outside of Parc Fermé this morning. What's your comment?
That it's not true, because nobody else touched the car. Our engineers were close there and gave orders. So that is Subaru.
Often drivers say when they've got a position where they're not fighting or defending a position, it's difficult to be concentrated. Has that been tough for you this morning?
Yeah, we've not really gone very well this morning on the first couple. The last one was going very well, but I braked too late for a couple of corners and slid off, came to a stop, so we lost a bit of time.
Petter, 27 kilometres left in this rally. Is it worth trying to catch Carlos?
Actually, it's no point. We have lost one corner now, and that's too bad. And he did his job. He tried to catch Marcus, and I think we have to stay on 4th place and get the points for the manufacturer for the team.
Petter has just said that he's not going to risk trying to catch you, so you haven't got that to worry about.
Do you believe that?
We'll see.
I will see as well.
The rally's final stage was the rock-strewn 20.6 kilometres of El Mirador. Alistair McRae had been a lot happier with the Lancers' performance than in Cyprus, but those early and niggling problems meant he'd finish outside the points, losing his personal fight with Juha Kankkunen. Skoda, though, were much happier. Tony Gardemeister was now 7th, and with only 2 of the 3 Fords eligible to score manufacturer points, he was finally on course to reward the track team with a point. Marco Martin would be the Ford driver not to score for the team, but that didn't really matter. He'd not taken any risks, and this had been a strong performance to be rated first of the drivers' points. Colin McRae, not surprisingly, saw things a little differently. He'd thrown away what was a certain victory in Cyprus last month, but never really looked like troubling the leaders in South America. He knows he'll have to start winning soon if he's to have any chance of challenging for the title. Sainz charged through the final stage, aware that Solberg was unlikely to hit the enough, no matter what he told us.
Rasante en izquierda rápida menos se tierra, Sassar, para derecha, rasante en izquierda menos se tierra, Sassar, para derecha rápida menos se tierra con C, para izquierda abrirse, rasante en izquierda rápida ojos se tierra poco, abrirse 1, izquierda rápida ojos se tierra puente, para 1 Sassar, derecha para más en quinta ras, se abre.
Sure enough, the Subaru driver was faster than Sainz at the stage midpoint, so continued to attack right until the end.
Long, opens 100. Line into 4, right. Tightens minus slippy, maybe half long, 100. Line into slippy, maybe 1 left plus, double tightens.
But even as he crosses the finish line, Solberg knows it's not enough. The gap between the pair is still 4 seconds. Sainz was right to push.
Oh, God did a mistake, 2 mistakes. The brakes was locking up in the front.
Richard Burns, of course, had no reason to push, but push he did. 0.2 of a second faster than Solberg, it was Burns who set the quickest time. Another Peugeot 1-2, their 5th in a row, was now surely a formality.
50, easy right, minus a cut. 100, medium left, minus. So it's 100, medium left, minus. 200. Crest. Richard finished the stage.
Grunholm was 4th fastest, a little over 6 seconds slower than his colleague. With a gap of over 1 minute and 17 seconds between the pair, however, that stage time didn't matter. Surprisingly, perhaps, the atmosphere in the team camp was a lot more subdued than usual.
The brakes locked up on the front 4Ks before the finish, so I lost a little bit of the feeling of the car.
Richard, another second place.
Yeah, okay, better than perhaps we expected this morning, but Marcus drove fantastically today and also obviously on Friday, so second place is good.
Good fight today with Tommy, and unfortunately he went off, but it was a good fight in the morning.
But the rally had one final twist. The stewards decided that Peugeot had broken the rules over the 1 kilometre exclusion zone, and so the rally winner was excluded.
Marcus, you seem very angry. Why have you been excluded from this rally?
I haven't spoken with anybody of organization, nobody, only with my team, and they told that we are excluded, and I don't know why. And I am disappointed because the team, they don't want to make an appeal.
Corrado, Marcus seems to be very, very angry that there's no appeal against his elimination.
Yes, I think I understand him. We all understand him. He's right to be furious because this decision is very painful for him. He won a very difficult rally. He had technical problems yesterday. He lost 1 minute 40. He had a problem this morning with his engine, which didn't start. He succeeded in beating Tommy, in pushing him harder, and at the end of the day, because of an engineer giving him suggestion as having the engine starting, he has been disqualified.
I've come away with 10 points, but I don't feel really like the winner of the rally. Marcus was the person who was fastest over the 3 days, and even though we had a good couple of days, the last few days, but we weren't close to him on the stage times. He would have beaten us by a minute, and of course that means that the satisfaction isn't really there.
So a slightly surprised Richard Burns was able to take the victory, his first for Peugeot, with Sainz, Solberg, Colin McRae, Martin and Gardemeister collecting the remaining drivers' points. With only 2 of the 3 Fords able to claim manufacturer points, 7th placed Kenneth Eriksson could then claim another one for Skoda. So amazingly, no points for either of the 2 drivers who've been battling for victory. Grönholm still leads the Drivers' Championship though, with Burns now 2nd and Sainz 4th ahead of Mäkinen. Colin McRae meanwhile is now on 9 points and shares 7th place with Rohan Pera. In the series for manufacturers, Peugeot still have an enormous lead despite Grönholm's exclusion. Ford are now 2nd ahead of Subaru, with Skoda finally having opened their account. Round 7 of the championship sees a return to Europe and the scorching sunshine and rocky, car-breaking roads of Greece. The Acropolis Rally was won last year by Colin McRae, and his form in Cyprus suggests he and the Ford team will again be on the pace. However, Peugeot, Subaru and the rest will be out to make life difficult for them. Here in Argentina, though, most of the headlines concerned the French team, and not all were about Bern's victory. Once again, the rally's shown just how unpredictable the event and the sport can be. From round 6 of what's turning out to be an incredible World Rally Championship, goodbye.